Namaste everyone. So here we are again for yet another sharing, and if you would like to stay for the full duration of this video, have a cup of either warm water or simply plain water with you. I just finished my lemongrass tea, which basically I prepared it from these fresh lemongrass and just diffused in the hot water. So anything which you like was just in suggestion, and let's begin. So the topic is, what is the best way to relax your mind? So I have this purple diary with me once again, and if you have been watching my videos from some time, then I also bought this in one of the videos where actually I shared a poem, because it just there are times when there is a like certain thoughts come to you which deeply inspires you, and you just really like sometimes feel, write it down. So that what I call a poem for me, and I don't know if it is the case as well um, for most of us, I mean. Today also, like when I was having my silence time, so I had one thought, and when I started like basically writing it down, I just like keep writing certain, like, follow up thoughts as well, and it really helped me to just see, oh really, like, I really see that we are the true like inspirer, like we ourselves are the true inspirer for ourselves, because that wiseness is already there. It's just we have to like give that particular environment so that it just flourish, and it just you get communicate, like you can communicate with that aspect of yourself. So coming back to the topic of discussion, so I just happened to write this poem which I just shared, and how I will go about this poem is I will take one line at a time, and I'll go about describing it as well, like explaining it a little bit, that how I see the correlation, and towards the end I will read the whole poem in one go. Alright, so let's begin. So, what I'm going to say next is actually very common, and we keep hearing it every day. It's just that it's just that all my sharings are just like little pointers and reminders, nothing of like something I've discovered or unusual as such. It's really common and we keep hearing it. The interesting part is to be with it. So yeah, like this is like you have to really commit to it. So the best way to relax mind, and here we go, is to discipline, of course disciplining the mind. Now see how simple is that, and still we think, oh, like there might be like something, mysterious and things like that, but actually the mystery is very simple. If we keep our mind to what is really like real, and basically to the principle of your, like whatever principle you want to follow for your life, and it can be same if it is like helping you, like the principle, I mean the principle need to be something which help you to um, grow from where we are right now. Now disciplining it is like not in an obsessive way, but through your daily actions or behavior. So now there are two aspects of even discipline, like either we become too lenient about certain principle which we want to follow, or we become too much obsessive about it. So we have like multiple examples like this. I will share some which I like, which I get inspiration from, and of course from my own. So we have heard this story of Gautam Buddha, and we know that he was in this, if we don't know, I'm like sharing it, even I don't know much, but whatever I know, um, he was in the quest of self realization, and he tried multiple ways, and one of the ways he thought is like fasting, which actually led to starvation of, you know like starvation to that extreme that he was at the verge of losing his life. And during that point he realized, oh my god, this is not the way for self realization, in no way, because in order to self realize there need to be a self first. Otherwise how one can realize it, like, in the first place. So that's about like how he like realized it. And the I have one friend with me which is a housefly, and she keeps, or he, whatever, like, will be with us. uh, so about other obsessive part, how we take it is, like, right, for example, if you like certain thing and we become all like head over the heels about it. So uh, what it means, I'll give my example. Like, I am a sweet tooth, and I generally like the sweet aftertaste of every food, which generally we get from rice, dal, vegetables, sometimes potato are like, generally we just get sweetness right away. And some other foods like similar, like chapati as well, of any grain. And in general, the sweets also, like Indian sweets in general. So I observe myself, like in previous, like, way of eating was, I used to overeat, I will say, the sweet, not of only this kind which we generally get through food, but other kind also, like toffees, chocolates, cakes, and maybe some other products which we get in the market. But I'm just like, these three were the major one. And I realized that they were not really close to helpful. So discipline, now the mind, like the disciplining the mind comes here, like having the sweet in moderation. Even Gautam Buddha also realized that having things in moderation, like he has this philosophy, like moderation is the key kind of thing. And he learned, like, we don't have to go to extreme for any, for the self realization part. Just maintaining the mind to what is, like, what we really want to implement in our life. So now, through our daily actions, like, how, like, basically how we can do it. So if we want to, example, interact with someone, so how our principle is acting on it, right? Like, for example, if I may ask, like, what is the principle on, like, on which you lead your life? Or if the question can be, do you would you like to have love, peace, togetherness, or calmness feeling on day to day life? That can be one of the principle, why not? So I will say, like, we need to follow it in our actions as well, how we are responding, how we are lifting a cup, how we are putting it down, and how we are walking, how we are speaking, how we are cooking, how we are eating, in everything we do. Now actions are not to impress other, but to impress yourself. So initially, when we are like, when we like new basically to follow a certain principle and being disciplined about it, then what happens, like, we want, of course, appreciation from our teachers, from our elderly ones, from where we learned that particular principle, maybe, or from our family friends, that, oh, we are leading such and such life. But eventually that appreciation need to come from ourselves. And why I'm saying that, like, getting appreciation is actually not a problem at all. It's really like natural part of, like, growing. But for example, we get a lot of alone time, right? And even right now I'm sitting here, I am comparatively like alone. And how I am choosing this particular alone time, and how I'm like putting into, like, nurturing the well-being, is of course like the choice. And there are multiple times when we get this time, and even if not the case, like physically speaking, but mentally we are alone all the time. How about that? So it's really important that whatever goes into your mind and whatever actions you take, that need to be really like for you to like for self inspiration, for basically impressing yourself. And actually, what it means to impress yourself, just being mature and taking actions with maturity. Even these videos are made for kids, but maturity is not related to any age. Maturity will come next What it means to be mature: knowing what is really real and paying attention to it all the times, or at least taking it as a full day's activity. Now, I'll just explain what it means. So, a day is 24 hours long, and it's really long. Even if you're spending your 8 hours or 7 hours in sleeping, or even lesser, I don't know, but at least get 7 to 8 hours sleep. So, the quality of that sleep is also dependent on what you're doing on the like in your rest of the day. So it's like all the same, basically it's all interconnected. So maturity, or mature, like being mature is basically, for example, you have certain principle, and it's irrespective of which age you are. And once you have established that principle for you, how you are like paying attention to that principle when you are doing your particular action in a day, from the morning, then to your midday, then to your afternoon, then to your evening, and then to your night, all that time. So see, it's pretty long. So there is one beautiful ritual which I recently learned from one of the sage, and I will just try to rephrase it, that what he exactly said, but you can, customize it as for your own you know usability, basically. So he said like this example is in the context of how you can pay attention to what is really real in your full day's activity. So what he said, that in the morning, if you don't if you wake up, definitely that is the prerequisite. If you wake up, then you can do all the rituals. So if you wake up, then if there is no intensity to go to restroom or use do any other routine of yours which is already existing, then just sit there. Just after waking up, just sit there where you just slept, and in a cross-legged or whichever position you like, and pray from all your heart that, God, that whatever I do while keeping you as the priority, at the center of every action I take. And if I find myself swaying away from it, then please guide me back to it. Please give me that strength and energy that I again come back to that principle or you. And how beautiful is that? Because see, if you want, for example, we have taken already an example that if the principle is having love, peace, and togetherness, and having a feeling of calmness is your principle, then how you can discipline about it is to see that how you are implementing that particular principle when you are acting, even through your words, even through any like cooking, cleaning, reading, studying, going to office, interacting with others, or whatever. There are multiple things which we do in a day. So how it is like really coming into action, because see, sometimes our thought process may not be very in line with the principle, but then again, like how you act is really important first. Of course, when you keep doing it, then your mental impressions also becomes like that it becomes your second nature. But till then, you have to like really be disciplined about it, and really discipline this beautiful mind of ours, which has immense capacity to evolve. And one more thing which I want to just maybe say is, judging yourself is a very important quality through all this process, the process of disciplining your mind. I don't know why like judgment or assessment is taken in a negative connotation, but I will say that judgment is really necessary, because then only you will analyze, if, because we all are very our mind goes after like logical thinking, logical deductions, whatnot. So for that purpose, you have to really analyze, like, am I really acting according to my principle? And that really helps. That really helps. So I'll just recite it in one go. Thank you for being here if you're still here. The best way to relax mind is to discipline. Disciplining it not in an obsessive way, but through your daily actions. Actions not to impress others, but to impress yourself. What it means to impress yourself, just being mature and taking action with maturity. What it means to be mature, knowing what is really real and paying attention to it all the times, or at least taking it as a full day's activity. And here I rest my word. Increase silence time in your life, or just very sincerely take care of your mind, discipline it. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you giving time and energy to this space. Namaste.